Hello and welcome again to my Edessa series. So far what we've done is we have landed on the moon and failed to come back, done a rescue operation, and that managed to bring us a whole lot of science back. Since then we have put in a comms network. So what we need to do now is we need to have a quick look at our finances and our science. So our comms network deploy mission has given us about 40 units of science, which now means we can afford one of these tiers. So let's have a look at what is available for 90 points of science. Okay, we have some propulsion systems, which will give us some tiny rockets and tiny fuel tanks. A bunch of base parts, so airlocks, Separatron nose cones, some more nose cones, and some fairings. Yes, we definitely want fairings. Okay, we will have these. Okay, so now what do? We have about 400,000 in the bank, which is cool. Let's have a quick look at what we have available on the jobs network. So we can plan to flag on the surface of the moon for 116,000 credits. We will definitely have that. Explore Kerbin, rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit of Kerbin for 32,000 credits. Not terribly interested in that one. Conduct observational surveys of Kerbin. That is a bunch of 11,000s, so about 44,000 is the payoff, plus 66,000 for a total of 137, including the advance. So that's pretty good. What else do we have? More temperature surveys. These are all to be done on the surface. We have a bunch of flights, so measure the temperature in flight below 17,800, so we just need to be flying at this point. And some more temperature surveys that have to be performed on the surface and then below. Now this one pays reasonably well because, as you can see, it's a mix of we have to do it on the surface and we have to do it below, in flight below 17,800. Just having a look at what else is available. So this one is more temperature surveys on the surface. Quite frankly, I'm not really in the mood for flying around the atmosphere. I would like to go back to the moon and, do it properly. Land, take off, come back in one piece in a single mission. The Explore is an interesting mission. It's just basically rendezvous 2 vessels for a total of, let's see, 32,000 plus 20,800 plus 11,200. So that gives us 64,000 credits for rendezvousing 2 vessels and coming home. In fact, not even coming home. They just need to be parked next to each other. Okay. I just don't really have any plans to do any rendezvous. A rendezvous is pretty easy to do, but you know what? Okay, let's do this one. I will accept that. So I was just gonna launch a rocket into orbit and go straight for the moon, but now that we've accepted the rendezvous mission, I am going to start building a space station. So I'm gonna load up our moon rescue mission, I think. No, our comms delivery. As far as I know, our comms delivery is very much the go-to rocket at the moment because it has the highest delta V of all of the other rockets in our stable. So I will get rid of all of these because we don't need to deploy those anymore. Let us have a look at what modules we have available to us. Let's see. Pin, there we go. So this one gives us stability assist. And this one gives us prograde, retrograde, hold. Both of them weigh 100 kilos. Okay, so I will now get rid of the parachute, and we no longer need the command pod. Let's just reroute. There we go, get rid of that. We don't need a heat shield because we're not coming home. And I'm not sure if we'll even need a decoupler. I mean, even the decoupler itself weighs 40 kilograms, and if we get rid of that, you can see now our delta V has jumped to 11,122 meters per second. Okay. So we will put the hex in place. Let's just put some structural garnish here just so it doesn't look too out of place. No, that's wrong. Let's see. Do we have a nice streamlined step to it? It does not look like it. If it's there, I am not seeing it. A service module. Service bay with explosive doors, do not open by hand. Okay. So if we open that... Oh, I see. That will do nicely. Okay, now let's place our octo on top. Okay. Now we're gonna need some power. Let me get rid of that. Oh wait, okay. Now let us attach. Do we have coupling yet? We don't have any docking ports. Okay, that's fine. What I'll do instead is I will add... what will we add? What will we put in? Okay, let's put in some power. Okay, that will do. Some photovoltaics. Like that. What else? I suppose I could put a bunch of science in here, but it is a shame that we don't have any docking ports yet. No. What else? Nothing's gonna fit. Okay. Okay, so let's put in a mech jib. That is not a good fit. It's a very tiny service module, isn't it? Okay. There we go. I seem to be missing the smallest nose cone. Okay. Talk about a massive parachute in your nose. No. Okay, let's just gather up a bunch of science, shall we? So one of these. We'll definitely be bringing that. There we go. Okay, so that way we will collect some science and we will transmit it home. A couple of these, no. Okay. That will do. Okay, so that way we'll have 2 antennae because I believe these are combinable. Yes. Okay. Really wish we had some docking ports so that way we can do a maneuver. We can do a rendezvous. Okay. So now I'm thinking, first, I just want to reinforce this. I keep telling myself, but I keep forgetting. So we had an awful lot of wobble on the way up during our rescue, so I'm just going to reinforce our boosters so that they wobble a little bit less. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now hopefully it will help with those wobbles. Okay, so this is going to be an exploration probe. We're going to send it to Minmus and then out into the solar system, and hopefully we will collect some juicy data and valuable science. And hopefully enough science that we will be able to then purchase a docking port, and then we'll be able to perform our rendezvous. I hope. So let's see how well this goes. Just gonna change the name of this. Oops. OBT for orbit. Unmanned Explorer 1. Save that. And let's double check our staging. So we have the 4 boosters and the center core fire at once. Okay. Okay. And that will fire. And that will separate. And that will fire. This needs to happen very last. Okay. No crew on board, of course. Alrighty. Let's see how this flies. Okay, well, it has passed the first test. It did not blow up. It does seem nice and stable as well, nowhere near as much wobble. So, it is rotated that way. So, as we take off, I'm going to have to rotate like this and then pitch down into the sunrise. Okay, let's do this. So throttle up. Let me just experiment with the roll controls, make sure they're all working properly. We all know what happened last time. Yaw. Okay, we're looking good. Let me just... Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, we have a nice stable liftoff. It's going to start to rotate. Oops, come on. I'm going the wrong way. Okay. Start to gimbal towards east instead of west. Come on. Come on. Oh dear. It is really fighting me. Come on. There we go. Come on. Okay, now it started to stabilize, thankfully. There we go. Through the cloud layer. Steady on. 45 degrees pitch. 14 kilometers up. Nice and steady. 40 degrees pitch. Okay, side booster's nearly exhausted. Getting ready for side booster separation. Side booster's exhausted. Successful side booster separation. Velocity continues to increase. We're doing well. We're on our way to space today. Okay, we have an apoapsis of 81 kilometers. Just gonna pitch right up into the horizon. It's being really sluggish. Okay, now we're over pitching. Do we have no control wheels at all? What is going on here? Why is this not opening? Okay, it looks like the service module does not really want to open. Let's try staging it. That has done nothing. Okay then. Okay, Ep.08 is coming up to 215 kilometers. Periapsis is still within the atmosphere, so we'll just do a circularization burn once we get there. I should have included some more reaction wheels, or at least some RCS thrusters, because this thing is way too heavy to maneuver using just the tiny little control wheels inside this octo or hex. But that's quite alright. Once we get rid of the center core, maneuverability should return to us. Okay, so let's add a maneuver node to Ep.08. There we go. That should do. Now we have to slowly, agonizingly slowly, turn towards our maneuver node. What I might do is, I might accelerate physics time. This is very handy, although it does tend to run the risk of the physics engine blowing something up, because accelerating physics time, it keeps physics alive. So yeah, you tend to only want to do it with relatively small vessels like this, or particularly complex vessel. We sometimes refer to it as inviting the Kraken. Okay. Okay, that is pointed roughly at our maneuver node. So now we'll just fast forward and then burn to circularize. As you can see, we're still running on just our center core, and we still have another 300 meters per second left in the tanks. It's amazing just how much delta V you get when you don't have to put a weighty crew compartment on your rocket. There we go, coming up to 1 minute 30 seconds before we burn, and we'll only burn for about 10 seconds. Well, that's a full throttle, so I'm going to burn at maybe 20. But even after that, we will still have another 160 meters per second left in the tank. There we go. Beautiful. We now have a nearly perfect circular orbit with another 163 meters per second left in this first center core. Okay, so let us, where shall we go? We can go for the moon, we can go for Minmus, or we can use the moon to slingshot us towards Minmus. Let's do that. Okay, let us find an intercept. There we go. Oh, look at that. Okay. Whoa, that is way out. That is plenty. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we need to move, rotate ourselves towards that maneuver node again. Let me just accelerate physics again. Okay. Coming up to that maneuver node. Nearly there. There you go. Okay, 24 minutes to go. Let's fast forward to that. We're still on that center core. It's amazing just how much delta V we have. Okay, 3 minutes to burn. This is going to be a bit of a while. 742.7 meters per second, or 44 second full throttle. We'll only have a little bit of that in the first center core, but that's fine. Okay. So let's fire it up. Okay, almost exhausted on the first core. Good stuff. Let's separate. Lovely. Clean separation. Stage the second stage. And we are away. So watch that apoapsis here as it creeps up. Nearly there. Alrighty, now we fine tune. Lovely. Great, so we've had a gravity assist from the moon, and that will put us out to 53 million meters altitude. So let us have a look at any science we'll be able to send home. So any... What is happening? Why is this not open? Okay. Perform all science, please. Okay. Well, it seems that this bay is unwilling to open. But at least we can do enable cutaway, so it sort of lets us see inside. I'm not too familiar with using service bays yet, so I'm guessing this is just how they work. I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to leave it on enable cutaway just so I can get easy access to it. Good. So let's fast forward to here, to the moon intercept, and watch that communication line. Still a direct line of communication to the Kerbal Space Center. I'm just looking for the point where one of these takes over. That'll be cool. So we'll warp to the periapsis around the moon. There we go, there's a bounce. The system works. Lovely, lovely. So let's have a look. Do we have any signs that we can send home? Any signs at all? No, no, nothing. Okay. They've seen it all, they've seen that data before. Okay, that's fine. So let's warp to our, I don't know, I suppose here. You can actually see as the bounces happen. Okay, so let me just turn off the, there we go. So now we can see the planet properly. So let's see, where is Minmus in all this? Okay. Our intercept is gonna be, it's gonna be about here. Okay, so, let us first, target ascending node. Let's first try to match, its angle of inclination. So watch that number. I'm gonna see if I can get it to 0. Lovely. Okay, and just push it out to try to sort of circularize. Oh no, what am I doing? I have to plan an intercept. I have to plan a way that we can intercept this moon. Sorry, this Minmus. What can we do? Well, first thing we can do is we can just match. We could just match its inclination. So I'll do that. And it'll be relatively cheap because we're pretty far out. 0.0 for 19.9, just 20 meters per second. And we have a total of 5,000 meters per second left in our tanks. It's just incredible. Okay, and let's see how easy we are now to maneuver now that we've gotten rid of that massive first stage. Okay, still very sluggish, but I'm not really having to activate physics warping just yet. Okay. Just trying to hit that mark. I've overshot. Let me just accelerate anyway. Stop. Stop. Come on. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So, let's warp there. As you can see from all the bounces happening of all the relays, we would have lost contact with this probe countless times by now. Okay, we are at 3 minutes. 3 minutes before our 1 second burn to just try to match our inclination to Minmus. Okay, and I might just burn now. Nice and steady, nice and low throttle. No sudden movements. How what is our inclination? Our inclination is 0.0. That's what we want. Okay. Now let's add another maneuver node and see what we can do about intercepting Minmus. That is looking good. There we go. Hello. Okay. I'm just going to focus view on Minmus. Lovely. That will do. Let us turn towards that maneuver node. Stop. Oh, really got to include some maneuvering jets next time. Although that will add more weight, and then that will really put a dent in our delta V. So I don't know, maybe I should not add any more maneuvering jets, and we'll just struggle along with our tiny little reaction wheels in our probe core. Okay. Good. There we go. So the maneuver node is now 5 days, 16 hours away, so we'll definitely warp towards that. There we go. Let us warp towards our maneuver node. There we go. Turn to prograde. And we only need to burn for 3 seconds this time. Thank you. A little bit more. There we go. Okay, let us throttle up. Lovely. So what did we get the periapsis at this time? Oh, beautiful. That is perfect. So I'm just going to add a maneuver node to that. See if I can get us into orbit. That'll do. So that is now 7 days and 15 hours away. Now what we can do is we can either fly by the Minmus and be launched into the solar system, or we can orbit Minmus and return with some science. I'm not really sure what we want to do just yet. You know what? We will just do a flyby. Just a simple flyby. So let's warp to that. Watching our comms network in action there. Look at that bouncing. All the signal bouncing happening for us. There we go. And let's warp here. There we go. We are doing a flyby of Minmus. So we've initiated first flyby of Minmus for 29,000 credits. Let's have a closer look. There is Minmus. Have we got any science to speak of? Any science at all? There we go. Let's send that home. Yes, now we're talking. Lovely, well done, unmanned probe. So we've just gathered the first scientific data from Minmus for a cool 14,000 credits. Okay. Lovely. Still another 4,926 meters per second delta V remaining. And this massive core still to be burned up. Okay, let's go exploring the local solar system. How are we doing? We're getting a nice strong signal from home. That's cool. But the signal gets a little bit weak once we have to bounce it. Interesting. Okay. Come on, let's leave Kerbin's sphere of influence. Have we left sphere influence yet? So we have some world first. There we go. We escaped gravitational influence of Minmus. We've initiated the first flyby of the sun. We've entered orbit of the sun. Good. Let's see if we can send some science back. Perform all science, please. Send that home as well. Lovely. So we've gathered first scientific data from the sun. Now if we do some more science, we won't get anything for it. Okay, so we're young and we have just under 5,000 meters per second left in the tanks, so what shall we do? We can try to intercept one of the other planets. What's a good one? There's Eve over there, which is not a particularly good place. Ideally we want it to be about here, I believe. Duna should be about here as well. You know what? Let's just add some maneuver nodes and see what happens. So first we're going to try to slow down and see where we can intercept. Can we target Eve? Yes, no? Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, that is way, way out. Okay. So let's target Juno. Yep. Way, way out. Oh, hello. Come on. Oh, almost there. Almost had it. What is going on? Come on. Can we get an intercept? Oh, hello. We have an intercept. It's focus view. So that will definitely fly by Duna. All for 888 meters per second. So we need to burn in 40 days so we can intercept Duna in 95 days. This is good. We've gotten very close to the transfer window for Duna, which is cool. We'll probably drop out of contact anyway, but if we can fly by Duna, that might be worth some extra points. Come on, stop. There we go. All right, let's warp to that. We are running low on signal strength. Yeah, I'm afraid we may end up losing this probe. Yeah, we have definitely no probe control. This is now a derelict probe, which is a shame. We might be able to get it back if we can get a stronger dish up there to bounce a signal, but... Yeah, I have no control. Oddly enough, I do seem to have some pitch control. But yeah, nothing of any consequence. I cannot even perform science. Hey. Well, that's what happens with science sometimes, I suppose. Sometimes you succeed, sometimes you end up with an expensive derelict in orbit of the sun. So we'll have to go back. How do we get out of here? We have to leave now. We cannot even delete maneuver nodes. Okay. So let us... we don't want to resume or revert flight. Space center, please. So yeah, it seems that those medium-sized dishes don't really bounce the signal quite well enough for my liking. And we now have a derelict probe. Okay. So, what can we do? We're gonna have to rescue it at some point, although we don't really need to, you know? It's just an unmanned probe that went wrong, you know? We might recover it at some point once we get some powerful enough transmission relays out there. So for now, we're just gonna have to let it drift. Okay. What do we do next? Let's have a look at our situation. So we have actually acquired quite a bit of science in that flight, which is good. This is good. I think we had maybe 20. We're now up to 95, which means we can purchase another one of these 90 unit tiers. So this will give us our docking port junior. This is perfect. So the mission has not been a complete failure. It has actually given us enough science to get us our first docking port, which means we can now attach that to our unmanned rocket, fly it up, and rendezvous. Okay. What I want to do now is I want to see if I can, instead of these high gain antennas, I want to try to put a couple of these dishes up there. So these are relay antennas, and they do, what do they do? They're rated at 2 Gs, whereas this one is rated at 5M. I'm guessing 2 Gs is quite a bit more. So what I might do is I'll just attach them either side like this. Yeah, I'll attach them like that. This is, I don't know. This is a bit of a... Yeah, I'm not happy with this service module. Just gonna get rid of it. And let's have a look at what else we can put there instead. Yeah. One of these. And just have the science on the outside. There we go. Good, good. I don't want to add too many more reaction wheels, but I might just, I mean, that was just agonizing trying to rotate. So let me just see if there's anything else that we can put on there that will give us some better control. Anything at all. Any reaction wheels. At the moment I'm just... Ah, here we go. Inline reaction wheel. Thank you. Thank you. And that drops the delta V from 9,500 to 9,414. I'll have 2 of those, please. Okay. And now let's do some docking ports. Okay. That will do. And now, let's just rotate the whole thing. Like that, I think. Okay, so I can put this into a nice and high orbit that will hopefully boost the signal. You never know, we might be able to get control of our probe back. Then again, maybe not. Worth a shot, right? But first I want to put 2 of these up there and have them dock, and then we can send it on its merry way. Yeah, let's do that. So we will call this Unmanned Explorer 2. Save that. Let's give it a shot. Okay. Yep, we're looking good. We've not blown up, which is always a good thing. Throttling right up. SAS enabled. Let us go. Okay, we've got pretty clean ascent up until now. We're doing well. We're going a little bit sideways at the moment, but that's fine. We're going in the right direction. 200 meters per second, 5 kilometers altitude. Approaching cloud layer. Okay, we're at Mach 1. Starting to pitch down. Doing well. (800 meters per second), 30 kilometers altitude. Okay, time to asparagus. We've done quite a steep ascent this time. Just really want to start to pitch down as far as we can. Okay. This has not been the most efficient ascent because ended up making it just a little bit too steep. Really should have pitched over much sooner than this. But that's quite alright. We do have a ton of Delta V in the tanks, and that should hopefully work to our advantage. How are we doing? Okay, that is the first core spent. Now we will stage. And now we can plan our circularization maneuver. Perfect. Okay. Oh goodness, it is so much easier to maneuver this thing now. There we go. And let us warp. There we have our circular orbit. Good. Now, let's launch a second craft. So nothing too fancy. We're just going to launch exactly the same craft a second time, only this time it'll be a much shallower orbit, and that way we can maneuver into a rendezvous much more easily. Okay, we've practiced this before. Let's do it one more time. Pitching down. Lovely. There we go, a nice, much more shallower ascent. Beautiful. Easy, easy. No, what are you doing? Okay, let us never ever turn to prograde ever again. What is happening? That was not supposed to happen. You were supposed to aim towards prograde, you silly thing. Okay, that is more like it. Okay, 12 kilometers up. $18 kilometers up. meters per second. Engaging asparagus. There we go. A much shallower ascent, but should be much more efficient. (40 kilometers altitude). We're looking at an apoapsis of 64 kilometers and rising. Periapsis of negative 450 kilometers and rising as well. Our orbital inclination is 3.6 degrees, which is not quite what I wanted. I really wanted to have as flat an inclination as possible, but yeah, turning to prograde halfway up was apparently too much for the autopilot. I'll have to keep that in mind for the next time I do something as silly as ask it to aim towards prograde, which it quite happily seems to be doing a very good job of it now. Anyway, approaching 90 kilometers apoapsis. We are now at 65 kilometers altitude, another 4 kilometers to go of atmosphere left. That will do. We're in space. Let us circularize. That will do. Remember, we only need to get them to fly close to each other. We don't really need to dock them. That may save us a bit of fuel. It may not. I don't know. Most probably will. We can do a nice fast flyby. Okay, let's deploy those solar panels. Never forget to deploy your solar panels. Okay. And our burn is in 2 minutes, 3 seconds and counting. Let's just fast forward through to that. That will do. Let us burn. Okay, we are at orbital speed. Circularizing now. That's close enough. So an apoapsis of 114, periapsis of 110 kilometers. That is good enough. Now, let's see. First thing we want to do is we want to adjust our inclination. So let's do that. Just kill this one. There we go. So now we want to drop that to 0. If we can. 0.3 degrees. 0.4, okay. 0. Okay, good enough. This is the first step you need to do if you ever want to plan a maneuver. Most of the time, it is by far the most efficient thing to do, and that is to first match your orbital inclination with your target. If you don't do that, you're just going to invite yourself a whole lot of grief. There we go. Hold still. Stop right there. Okay, there we go. So we have 10 minutes to burn 10 seconds. Let's fast forward to that. Four minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. There we go. And for some reason, we're again doing it in the dark. Oh well. Seems to be a tradition now. Every complex maneuver has to happen in the dark. That should do it. Well, our inclination is 0.1, which is close enough. Okay. Let's add a maneuver to see if we can intercept. Nope, at no point during our current orbit can we intercept. Okay, so let's do some fine-tuning. So, next orbit, please. Next orbit. Okay, that is looking pretty good. Okay, we can fine-tune that later. Let's just warp to it. This is 8 hours away. And apparently we cannot fast forward quite fast enough to get there. Okay, so let me just kill that. This is a trick. If you are having trouble fast forwarding and it just won't let you because you're too low, you go to your space center, you go into the tracking station, and you fast forward there. Okay. So let us fast forward, please. Six hours, 5 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. And that is how you fast forward when the system will let you not do it. Okay, that is good enough. Jump to ship, please. Please do. Okay, close alarm. Thank you. Go away. You have done well. Okay. So this will give us an intersect of 16.6 kilometers. Let's see if we can do a little bit better than that. One minute 30 seconds. 55 seconds. Okay. Nearly there. Let us burn. There we go. Let's see, how do we do? We have a separation of 0.8 kilometers. That is brilliant. Excellent. So let's warp there. So now we will do a flyby at 0.8 kilometers. That may or may not count as a rendezvous. We'll find out. Just to be safe, I'm going to switch our targeting mode to target and turn retrograde. Just so if we're flying by a little bit too fast, I can burn in the opposite direction of travel with respect to our target and see how fast or how slow we need to go for our rendezvous to be valid. In fact, you know what? I think I'm just going to dock him. Stuff it. I will do a full-blown dock. I have no idea how I'm going to do that without maneuvering jets, but it'll be fun to find out. Especially with this massive center core attached to our back. Oh dear. Okay, we're looking at 15 seconds to intercept. There it comes. Full throttle. Whoops. Quickly now. Burn, burn, burn. Go, 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 go. There we go. Lovely. Okay. So contract parameter complete. Synchronized free falling isn't nearly as daunting as it sounds. Our exploration of Kerbin was successful, but who knows what other secrets it holds. So we have been paid. We have performed a successful rendezvous maneuver around Kerbin for 24,000 credits. So that is the last bit of payment that we're going to get. So now I'm going to turn towards our target and see if I can perform a nose-to-nose dock. Okay, now just going to use my nav ball here to try to put our direction of travel in the direction of our target. There we go. Okay, and now turn retrograde, so that when we get close enough, it will simply try to stop. And then we'll worry about the, you know, the logistics of actually docking nose to nose without any maneuvering thrusters. Either way, it will be a whole lot of fun to find out how we do it. Okay, 40 seconds to intercept. Okay. There we go. Now, how do we do this? Up. Slow down. Come on now. This is gonna be tricky. This is gonna be really, really tricky. Okay, so I will turn it towards it, and let's see what we can do here. Come on, you only have a few seconds to turn. If we miss, we're gonna ruin those beautiful solar panels. Come on. Don't do this to me. Come on, turn towards it. Okay, turn. Getting very, very close here. Damn it! Don't you dare collide on me! Oh, thank goodness. Okay. We're very, very close. Whew, okay. Now, can we turn towards our target? How are we doing? And burn towards it. Whoa. Gently now. Okay. That was a close call. Okay. This is gonna be hard. Oh no, not another collision, come on. Oh my goodness, this is atrocious. Just trying to drive this thing. Okay. Okay. So we're now stopped. Let's turn towards our target. And hold still. Right there. Right there. That's it. Okay. Let's try this from the other side. Let me try and change camera. Locked camera, please. Okay. There you are. Let's target that docking port and let's control from here. Okay, 0.1 meters per second. 0.2 meters per second. Okay, will this dock? Will we find out whether this docks? I am holding my breath at the moment. Come on, come on, 10 meters. Come on. So close. 7 meters. 6 meters. Oh, come on. 4 meters. Yes! Yes! It's done it! We have successfully docked nose to nose with no maneuvering thrusters at all. Oh my goodness. Okay, and that is a world first. 28,000 credits, 800. We have started constructing the first stationer on Kerbin, and we have performed a docking maneuver on Kerbin. Oh my goodness. And oh, of course, we've gone way over time as well. Oh my goodness. Well, there you go. We have a sort of unmanned space station thing happening, but hey, it works. Whew. Okay, we are going to leave it there. Oh my goodness. The things that happen when you try to ad-lib these things, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, that will definitely do. We will leave it there. We can pick this up the next time. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.